Let me tell you something about life is not promised, and it sure ain't endless. We all know it, yet so many of us walk through life like we've got all the time in the world. Let me remind you, life is short, and you've got to make every moment count. Every morning is a fresh opportunity. It's a reset button, a chance to define your day before it defines you.
I don't have small talk. Fuck small talk. You guys want small talk friends? Or you guys want delusional friends that are unrealistic, talking about big shit? Andy, I don't have anybody like that. Oh, you're hanging out with the bottom? I'm gonna go hang out with these motherfuckers. Well, they won't accept me. Yeah, because you don't look like you believe in you. And they don't want none of that shit. They don't want to catch that fucking virus that you have.
I never even realized I was where I was because of who I was. And I was actually getting the physical manifestations of my thoughts, of my feelings, my emotion. I was creating this. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what's one of the hardest things you ever done? The hardest thing I've ever done was look in the mirror and tell myself I was sorry.
From living off the streets to becoming one of the world's most in-demand motivational speakers,
the voice that ignites a fire in millions,
Eric Thomas.
You need to tell you that you owe you something. You need to be more disciplined about your mindset. And all the stuff that you said was absolutely right. My daddy wasn't there, my mama did this person did to me. Why would you let them destroy your life?
Let's go.
Why would you allow that thing they did to hurt you now define the rest of your life? At the end of the day, you have to be the first thing that you invest in. Before you check anything, check you and go look yourself in the mirror and go, yo, I'm my lottery ticket. We have worshiped careers more than we worship creating. And so the first thing I would say to that group is, what would life look like if you did it on your terms? I want you to think about your life instead of the life.
You have to listen to the people who are closest to your goals, not closest to you. There's, that famous Harvard study that found out that people's net worth was correlated with their reference group. Now, a lot of people mistakenly say it's the 5 people you spend the most time with, but I believe it's the 5 people you compare yourself to. Fundamentally, the people that are in your surroundings, if they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. And I think it's hard to do because as humans, we're social creatures and we learn to listen to the opinions of others. When you're a child, you say, is this good or bad? And an adult says, that's good, that's bad. And you kind of incorporate it. That's how you learn how to make your way in the world. And then you become an adult and you realize that some of the people who gave you your good and bad advice are actually morons. Because you meet them now and it's Doug and you're like, Doug's an idiot. I listened to Doug. It's like, well, I was 8 years old and I didn't know any better. But I think honestly, a lot of adulthood is fundamentally unlearning things and choosing to know that you believe your beliefs for your own reasons. And so I think that if you cannot explain why you believe what you believe, it's not your belief, it's someone else's.
Everybody that you fight is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you is not your friend. And that's what life taught me.
If you're sitting and watching right now and you're 28 and you don't have shit, and you can get shit. Like, it's okay. Just because you're not winning at 23 or 27 or 32, you're not finished. We're in the first quarter. I started my company at 34 years old in another company's conference room because we had no money. I was 34 before I ever made $100,000 a year. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You got fucking time. It's a balance of regret and patience. Like, you can go hard on for 3 years, do nothing right, wake up, and be young as fuck.
When is it time to panic?
70? Because fucking Colonel Sanders came out with some KFC shit late. There's some people watching right now that are 25 and they feel sad because they're not a millionaire. That's fucking asinine. You can accomplish a lot. Everyone's so anxious. Everyone wants it so fast. Everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. They want to make it now so they can show or enjoy. To me, enjoy the process of your career, not the money you make from your career so you can then enjoy it.
When I look back, all the anger and the frustration and the hurt, it was all blaming. Everything was about this person or that person. I never even realized I was where I was because of who I was. And I was actually getting the physical manifestations of my thoughts, of my feelings, my emotion. I was creating this and didn't even realize. I thought my mom created it. I thought my father created it. It's like, no, E, you created this. And I'm gonna tell you, the moment I realized you are the greatest common denominator, like you the common denominator. Once that realization hit me, it was like, oh, okay, you got some confessing to do, bruh. And I'm gonna tell you the hardest thing that I've ever done. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what's one of the hardest things you ever done? The hardest thing I've ever done was look in the mirror and tell myself I was sorry.
Don't rely on social media.
Put it down, turn it off, shut up, be quiet, learn, read, relax, get better. First part of your life you learn, second part of your life you earn, third part of your life you return.
Can you be my therapist?
I already am.
The man who never fell, the man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory.
Wow.
That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never fell. There's no glory in that. You know, it's not.
Sometimes people talk about how like the hard times build you. And I'm not sure if I totally agree. I think a lot of times the hard times reveal you. Like I think a lot of people have that savage that's inside and they just haven't had the environment to pull it out and then give themselves evidence that it's there. But like I knew just on like whatever the level that is, that like I didn't know when I would be successful, but I did know that I wasn't going to stop. I just know that I won't stop. Like that I can commit to. I was like, I just won't stop.
Guys like you are easy to beat. I run over people like you for a living. If I pulled your bank account out right now, are you guys all proud of yourself? Are all your assets paid for? Go look in the mirror. Strip yourself down naked. Is that what you wanted to see? Is that the shit that turns your wife or your husband on? Are you proud of that shit? You act slow, you think slow, you think you're too good. I'm gonna dust your ass.
You don't know is what it feels like to be 35, and I'm gonna give you the preview. It feels exactly the same way you feel right now. I feel exactly the same way in my soul right this second as I did when I was your age. If you knew what I knew, you would slow everything down.
Life is a hoax. They tell you that if you do this, you're gonna get to a certain place. Bullshit. When you hit that mountaintop, there's 20 more mountaintops you didn't see that now you want a piece of. If you bust your ass now, if you work hard now, it's gonna get easier. That's a lie. Because as you start to go to new levels and you're at the top of that level, you're on the bottom of the next level. So do you think it's gonna get easier? Hell no. It never gets easier. Your training gets more intense. Your mindset's gotta be stronger. Your mental toughness has gotta be on a new level. You gotta have more people on your team. You gotta make new connections and have more resources. You're truly gonna need.
I need you to hear me on this. Do it for you. Make yourself happy. Work on yourself, whether it's therapy, exercise, listening to more positivity. You're on the cusp of a substantially great change in your life. I am so proud of you and so happy. Do it for you. And then if you do it for you, you'll be doing it for them.
If you are someone who's ambitious, and this is me just talking specifically to you, you have to get used to being alone. I'm saying this because I used to think that there was something wrong with me, when in reality, I just didn't understand what the nature of being exceptional meant. To be exceptional means that you are the exception. It means that you are not normal. And so it's normal for normal people to find you abnormal if you do things that are not normal. I had plenty of friends who were like, I want to be an NFL player. I want to be a really rich tech entrepreneur. I want to be a touring musician, right? And they had these goals, but I'm like, dude, I see you just playing Fortnite 4 hours a day and you practice guitar once a week. Like, do you really want that? Or do you just like saying it because it makes you feel good? Realizing that I thought most people actually made no sense. They say they had these goals, but they took no action. And they called me work obsessed and they would tell me I should take time off, and they're like, hey, you're not as cool anymore. You're not hanging out with the boys. Like, why aren't you participating in the fantasy league? Why aren't you watching football on Sunday with us? But the thing is that like I needed that Sunday because I had to prep workouts, I had to prep the music list for the next day, I had to run billing, and I looked at that football game and I was like, 1 year from today, will I remember this football game? Or will I remember the fact that I'm not where I said I wanted to be?
This is you. This is me. And this is all the famous people that you wish that you were or could be. Little fucking specks in the scheme of the world, and when the world looks at it, they don't give a shit. For all the things that people accomplish, the ones that are able to have humility and realize it doesn't fucking matter if you won 7 Super Bowls or made $4 trillion or invented a startup. In the scheme of things, it's nice, it's good. But my friends, I promise you, the shit that you're worried about that they think about you, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Once you realize that nobody gives a shit about you, they've got their own fucking problems, your life gets better.